I park in the driveway and kill the engine. The house looks different somehow. Maybe it's the way the afternoon light hits the windows, or maybe it's just me. 3 days early from Houston. The client presentation wrapped faster than expected, and I thought Rachel would appreciate the surprise. The front door clicks open without resistance. She never locks it during the day, says the neighborhood's safe enough. I drop my travel bag by the stairs and listen. Something's off. There's a sound coming from upstairs, rhythmic, muffled. My first thought is the washing machine, except it's coming from the wrong direction. Then I hear her voice, a moan, breathy and urgent. The kind she used to make with me years ago before we became roommates sharing a mortgage. I climb the stairs slowly, each step deliberate. The sounds get clearer. Her voice, definitely. And something else, a deeper sound, masculine. The bedroom door is cracked open just enough. I see him first. Broad shoulders, dark hair, his jacket's draped over my reading chair, and there's an ID badge clipped to the breast pocket. Michael Halbridge, it reads. Values and Vision Consulting. I recognize the name from Rachel's work stories, the one who hosts that leadership podcast she's always mentioning. She's beneath him, eyes closed, lost in something I haven't seen from her in months. Her wedding ring catches the light as her fingers dig into his back. I pull out my phone and start recording. The rational part of my brain takes over. The engineer in me that spent 15 years designing fail-safes for billion-dollar infrastructure projects. Document everything, preserve the evidence, build the case methodically. They don't notice me. They're too busy with their performance, too wrapped up in whatever story they're telling themselves about this. I record for 2 minutes, then back down the stairs as quietly as I came up. In the kitchen, I pour myself a glass of water and check my phone. The video is clear, the audio unmistakable. I upload it to a secure cloud folder, then create 3 backup copies on different platforms. Engineers have it. Redundancy is everything. My hands aren't shaking. That surprises me. I expected rage, maybe tears, definitely some kind of breakdown. Instead, I feel oddly calm, like I'm studying a structural problem that needs solving. The sounds from upstairs continue for another 10 minutes. I use the time to walk through the house, noting details I'd missed before. The wine glasses in the sink, 2 of them, and we were out of her favorite Pinot Grigio when I left for Houston. The throw pillows on the couch, arranged differently than usual. Small signs of a routine I wasn't part of. When the house finally goes quiet, I grab my travel bag and head back to my truck. I'll give them time to clean up, to put on their clothes and practice their lies. I drive to the Marriott downtown and check into a room. From the window, I can see the office building where Rachel works, where Michael probably works too. 22 floors of glass and steel, full of people managing other people's problems while creating their own. My phone buzzes with a text from Rachel. How was Houston? When do you land tomorrow? I don't respond. Not yet. Instead, I open my laptop and start building spreadsheets. Flight records from my business trips over the past 6 months. Rachel's calendar, which she shares with me for transparency. Credit card statements showing charges I didn't make. Hotel key cards from Michael's podcast conferences that somehow ended up in Rachel's purse. The ones I thought were from her own work events. The patterns emerge quickly once you know what to look for. The data doesn't lie. It never does. I spend the night in the hotel room, cross-referencing timelines and building a comprehensive picture of their affair. Not because I need more proof, the video is plenty, but because I need to understand the scope of what I'm dealing with. How long, how often, how careless they've been. The answer is very. By morning, I have a plan. The hotel coffee tastes like burnt water, but I drink it anyway. Outside my window, the city wakes up to another Tuesday. People heading to jobs, to meetings, to lives that make sense. I envy them. I've been awake since 4, working on what I'm calling Project Closure. That's what this is, really. An engineering problem disguised as a personal crisis. Rachel broke something that worked. Michael helped her break it. Now I need to design a solution that prevents future failures. In infrastructure design, we call it redundancy planning. Multiple systems backing up the primary system, so when one fails, the others maintain integrity. What Rachel and Michael don't understand is that I've been building fail-safes my entire adult life. My phone shows 3 missed calls from Rachel and a string of increasingly worried texts. Derek, where are you? Your flight was supposed to land at 6 p.m. I'm getting scared. Please call me. The performance continues, even when she thinks no one's watching. I respond with a single text. Flight delayed. Home late tonight. That buys me another 18 hours. I drive to my office and use the secure connection to dig deeper. Rachel's company laptop is linked to our home network, and I installed remote access software months ago when she was having technical problems. She never asked me to remove it. Her email history tells a story that's both predictable and pathetic. 6 months of increasingly intimate correspondence with Michael. Planning meetings that weren't meetings. Hotel bookings that coincided with my business trips. Even a photo she sent him last week, one I took of her in our kitchen, smiling over coffee in her silk robe. The metadata shows she forwarded it to him 30 minutes after I left for the airport. Michael's digital footprint is even easier to crack. He uses the same password for everything. Vision 2024, and his social media accounts are linked to his professional email. A real security amateur for someone who consults on business leadership. His podcast, Authentic Leadership in Modern Marriage, has been running for 2 years. 47 episodes about integrity, communication, and building trust with your partner. His bio mentions his devoted wife of 12 years and their shared commitment to family values. The irony would be funny if it weren't destroying actual lives. I spend the afternoon building profiles on both of them. Rachel's professional network, her client relationships, her reputation at the firm. Michael's business partnerships, his speaking engagements, his carefully crafted public image. Everyone has vulnerabilities. You just have to know where to apply pressure. My phone rings around 5. Rachel again. Derek? Oh, thank God. I've been so worried. When are you getting home? Her voice carries that particular tremor she gets when she's lying. I've been married to this woman for 8 years. I know her tells. Soon, I say. Traffic's heavy. Okay, I'll make dinner. That pasta thing you like. The pasta thing I like. She hasn't made it in 6 months. Hasn't made any dinner in 6 months. Now she's playing the devoted wife because her schedule's been disrupted. Sounds great. Love you. The words taste like ash, but they serve a purpose. Keep her calm. Keep her unaware. Keep the variables controlled until I'm ready to act. I hang up and return to my research. By evening, I have detailed dossiers on both targets. Rachel Elizabeth Morrison Hayes, Senior Account Manager at Brennan & Associates. Licensed CPA, MBA from Northwestern. Clean professional record until now. Lives at 1247 Maple Street with her husband of 8 years. No children, 2 cats, drives a leased BMW. Michael James Halbridge, CEO of Values and Vision Consulting. Married to Sarah Halbridge, 2 teenage daughters. Motivational speaker, podcast host, regular contributor to leadership magazines. Net worth approximately $2.8 million, most of it tied up in real estate and his business. Both of them have built their careers on trust. Professional trust, personal trust, the kind of reputation that takes years to establish and seconds to destroy. I close the laptop and head home. Rachel meets me at the door with a smile that doesn't reach her eyes. She's changed clothes since this afternoon. Fresh dress, new perfume, the kind of effort that signals guilt. How was Houston? She asks, kissing my cheek. Productive. Deal closed earlier than expected. She nods, already moving toward the kitchen. That's wonderful. I made your favorite. We eat dinner like actors in a play neither of us auditioned for. She asks about the client, about my flight, about plans for the weekend. I answer with just enough detail to seem engaged while my mind runs through the next phase of project closure. After dinner, she suggests we watch a movie. Something romantic, she says. Her hand finds mine on the couch, her fingers intertwining with mine like we're teenagers again. I let her play the role. It's the last performance she'll give in this house. Sarah Halbridge answers on the third ring. Her voice is warm, distracted, probably getting kids ready for school. Mrs. Halbridge, this is Derek Hayes. I'm calling about your husband. A pause. I'm sorry, do I know you? No, but we have something in common. Our spouses are having an affair. The silence stretches long enough that I wonder if she's hung up. Then, what did you say? Michael and my wife Rachel have been sleeping together for 6 months. I have proof. I think you have the wrong... Monday afternoon, Marriott downtown, room 1247. Tuesday evening, our house while I was traveling. Last Thursday, the Hyatt by the airport. I can send you the documentation if you'd like. Another pause. When she speaks again, her voice is different, smaller. Documentation? Video, photos, email correspondence, credit card records, everything you'd need for divorce proceedings. Why are you calling me? It's a fair question. I consider my answer carefully. Because they're both going to lie to us when this comes out. They'll minimize it, call it a mistake, promise it's over. But we deserve to know the truth about what we're dealing with. And what truth is that? That this isn't love. It's not passion. It's two selfish people who decided their entertainment was worth more than our families. She's quiet for almost a minute. I can hear voices in the background. Her daughters, probably, asking about breakfast or homework, or the 100 small crises that make up a family morning. Send me what you have, she says finally. Are you sure? Send it. I email her a folder containing 18 months of evidence. Not just the affair, Michael's pattern of targeting married women through his business network. Rachel wasn't his first. She probably won't be his last. She calls back an hour later. Jesus Christ, how long have you known? 3 days. And you've been gathering all this in 3 days? I'm an engineer. I like having complete information before I make decisions. She laughs, but there's no humor in it. What happens now? That's up to you. But if it were me, I'd make sure he understood that actions have consequences. What are you going to do about your wife? I'm still working on that. 2 days later, Michael Halbridge's world implodes during a board meeting at his consulting firm. The conference room is full, 12 directors, 3 investors, his business partner, and a reporter from Industry Leadership magazine who's there to write a profile about their expansion plans. That's when the process server arrives. Michael Halbridge? You're being served with divorce proceedings. The papers are thick, comprehensive, and accompanied by a folder labeled Evidence of Marital Misconduct. Sarah's divorce attorney, the best family lawyer in the city, according to online reviews, has done excellent work. Michael tries to play it off, make some joke about timing, but his face has gone pale. The reporter is taking notes. The board members are exchanging glances. Then his phone starts buzzing. Social media notifications, probably. Sarah has posted a statement on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Nothing dramatic, nothing vengeful, just facts. After 12 years of marriage, I'm divorcing my husband due to his ongoing infidelity. His public persona as a family values advocate doesn't match his private behavior. I wish him well in his future endeavors. She's tagged his business accounts, his podcast, his professional network. The post goes viral within hours. By end of business that day, Michael's podcast has been suspended pending review. 3 speaking engagements have been canceled. His business partner is fielding calls from concerned clients who are questioning the firm's integrity. The Industry Leadership magazine reporter calls me directly, somehow having tracked down my connection to the story. I decline to comment, but I do confirm that the documentation exists and that it speaks for itself. I don't feel satisfaction watching Michael's career crumble. I don't feel vindicated or victorious. Mostly, I feel tired. But I also feel something else. Clarity. This is what consequences look like when they're applied systematically, comprehensively, without emotion or drama. Rachel still doesn't know what's coming. I text Rachel on Thursday morning. "Dinner tonight?" "That new place downtown, 7 p.m. She responds immediately. "Really? What's the occasion?" "Just felt like celebrating us." The lie comes easily now. Everything's a lie when you're operating in enemy territory. I make reservations at Chez Laurent, the French place where we had our second anniversary dinner. Expensive, intimate, the kind of place where important conversations happen. She'll interpret this as reconciliation, maybe even as an apology for being distant lately. She has no idea that while she's getting ready for dinner, her career is being systematically destroyed. The resignation letter I wrote in her voice is perfect, professional, regretful, citing personal circumstances that require my immediate attention. I've forged her signature so many times over the years for various documents that replicating it is automatic. The NDA breach report is more complex. Rachel's been sharing confidential client information with Michael for months, using their business strategies as pillow talk. She probably thought it was harmless, shop talk between professionals. But Brennan and Associates takes client confidentiality seriously, and the documentation I've compiled shows a clear pattern of violations. The video excerpts are the nuclear option, not the explicit content from our bedroom. I'm not that cruel. But audio of Rachel discussing specific client deals, laughing about their backwards thinking, mocking their decision-making processes, all while in bed with someone from a competing firm. I deliver everything to her HR department, legal counsel, and her 3 biggest clients simultaneously at 5:47 p.m., 13 minutes before our dinner reservation. Rachel arrives at the restaurant glowing. She's wearing the black dress I bought her for Christmas, her hair done professionally, makeup perfect. She looks like a woman celebrating a victory. "You look beautiful," I tell her, and I mean it. She does look beautiful. She also looks doomed. "Thank you." She settles into her chair, already reaching for the wine menu. "I can't believe you did this. It's so romantic." We order appetizers, discuss the wine selection, make small talk about her day. She mentions a big presentation she's giving tomorrow for a potential new client. She's excited about it, confident. It's going to be a great opportunity for advancement. My phone buzzes with a text from an unknown number. The message is simple. "It's done. S." Sarah Halbridge, letting me know that Michael has been served with the employment termination paperwork from his consulting firm. His business partnership has been dissolved, his assets frozen pending divorce proceedings, his professional reputation in ruins. "Everything okay?" Rachel asks, noticing my distraction. "Just work stuff, nothing important." She smiles and reaches across the table to squeeze my hand. "I love that we're doing this. We should make it a regular thing." "Absolutely." Her phone starts buzzing around 8 o'clock. She ignores the first few calls, but they keep coming. Finally, she checks the display and frowns. "It's my boss. On a Thursday night. That's weird. Maybe you should take it." She steps outside to talk. Through the restaurant window, I can see her face change as the conversation progresses. Confusion first, then disbelief, then something approaching panic. She comes back to the table white-faced. "Derek, something's wrong. James says I submitted a resignation letter today, but I never—" "Maybe someone hacked your email?" "That's what I thought. But he says there are other issues. Client complaints, confidentiality concerns. He wants me to come in first thing tomorrow to discuss it." I'm sure it's just a misunderstanding. She nods, but she's not really listening anymore. Her phone is buzzing again, texts now, probably from coworkers who've heard the news. "Do you mind if we cut this short?" she asks. "I need to figure out what's happening." Of course. I pay the check while she makes phone calls in the lobby. By the time we get to the car, she's in full crisis mode. 3 of her clients have called emergency meetings for tomorrow morning. Her assistant has forwarded 17 urgent emails. Her professional world is collapsing in real time. She spends the drive home on the phone with her mentor, trying to make sense of the situation. I listen to her piece together the scope of the problem, the resignation she didn't submit, the confidentiality breaches she doesn't remember making, the audio recordings that somehow exist of conversations she thought were private. "Derek," she says as we pull into our driveway, "something really bad is happening. I think someone's trying to sabotage me." "Who would do that?" "I don't know. A competitor, maybe? Someone who wants my client list?" I nod sympathetically. "We'll figure it out." But even as I say it, I know there's nothing to figure out. The damage is already done. The mechanism's already in motion. By tomorrow afternoon, Rachel Elizabeth Morrison Hayes will be unemployed, unemployable, and facing potential legal action for corporate espionage. The engineering is flawless. The execution is clean. The marriage is over. The divorce papers arrive at her parents' house on a Tuesday morning, 3 weeks after I moved into the downtown apartment. Rachel's been staying with them since Brennan and Associates terminated her employment and began legal proceedings for breach of contract. The envelope is plain white, her name typed on a standard label. No return address, just the law firm's insignia in the corner. Inside, a single sheet of paper with one line typed in the center. "You were right. I did deserve better." I don't hear from her directly, but her father calls that evening. His voice is careful, measured, like he's reading from notes. "Derek, Rachel would like to talk. She says there are things she needs to explain." "I'm sure there are. Will you at least consider it? For the sake of closure?" Closure. Everyone thinks closure requires conversation, confrontation, some kind of dramatic scene where truths are spoken and forgiveness is either granted or withheld. But that's not how systems work. Closure is simply the ending of a process, the point at which all variables are resolved and the equation balances. Tell her the papers are self-explanatory. If she wants to contest anything, she can have her lawyer call mine. "Derek, Dad Morrison, I appreciate the call, but there's nothing to discuss. She made her choices. I made mine." I hang up and return to my evening routine. The apartment is smaller than the house, but it's cleaner somehow. Simpler. The walls are white, the furniture minimal, everything in its proper place. The dog, our dog technically, though she left him behind when she moved out, sleeps on a cushion by the window. He's adjusted better than expected to the new environment. Dogs are adaptable that way. They don't overthink past trauma or future complications. They exist in the present moment, responding to immediate conditions. I could learn something from that. My phone shows 17 missed calls from Rachel over the past 3 days. I've listened to none of the voicemails. There's nothing she could say that would change the fundamental mathematics of the situation. She betrayed our marriage. I ended it. The variables are resolved. The house sells quickly. Cash offer, no inspection, closing in 2 weeks. The buyers are a young couple with matching wedding rings and coordinated outfits who spend the walkthrough planning where their furniture will go. They see potential where I now see only contamination. I don't attend the closing. My lawyer handles the paperwork, deposits my half of the proceeds, and sends me the final documents by email. The house where I lived for 8 years, where I thought I was building a life, officially belongs to someone else. The relief is immediate and complete. Friends try to stage interventions over the next few months. Mutual friends, mostly. People who knew us as a couple and can't understand how things fell apart so completely. They invite me to dinner parties and game nights, always with single women they think would be perfect for me. They offer to mediate conversations with Rachel, suggest couples therapy, recommend books about forgiveness and healing. I decline politely and consistently. Their concern is genuine but misplaced. They're trying to fix something that was never broken, just poorly designed from the beginning. The job in Portland comes through in December, a senior engineering position with a firm that specializes in sustainable infrastructure. Clean energy projects, water reclamation systems, the kind of work that builds rather than destroys. It's a natural progression, both professionally and personally. I don't tell anyone I'm leaving until the movers arrive. The Pacific Northwest rain sounds different than Midwest rain. Softer, steadier, like white noise instead of percussion. I stand at the floor-to-ceiling windows of my new apartment, watching water streak down glass while the city blurs into impressionist watercolors below. It's been 6 months since I left Chicago, 18 months since that afternoon when I climbed the stairs and discovered my marriage was already over. People keep asking when I'll be ready to date again, when I'll put myself back out there, when I'll start healing. They don't understand that healing and closure aren't the same thing. Healing implies damage that needs repair, wounds that require time and care to mend. But some things aren't damaged. They're just terminated. Clean shutdowns, systems powered down, processes completed, no damage, no ongoing pain, just the quiet that comes after noise stops. Rachel's final letter arrived last week, forwarded from my old address. 5 pages of handwriting, her familiar loops and slants filling cream-colored stationery. I read it once, methodically, the way I read technical reports. She's moved back to Minnesota, living with her sister while she figures out her next steps. The legal issues with Brennan and Associates were settled out of court, some kind of quiet resignation in exchange for avoiding prosecution. She's seeing a therapist, attending support groups, trying to understand how she became someone who would do such terrible things. The language is careful, therapeutic, full of ownership and accountability buzzwords her counselor probably taught her. She takes full responsibility for her choices. She understands that trust, once broken, can't be easily repaired. She doesn't expect forgiveness, but she hopes I can eventually find peace. The letter ends with a question. Do you think you'll ever be able to forgive me? I don't respond, because the question is fundamentally flawed. Forgiveness implies an ongoing relationship, some kind of emotional investment in the other person's well-being. But Rachel and I don't have a relationship anymore. We have shared history, like any two people who once lived in the same place at the same time. You don't forgive infrastructure when it fails. You analyze the failure, document the causes, and design better systems going forward. My new job involves designing water treatment facilities for municipal systems, taking something contaminated and making it clean again through carefully engineered processes. There's something satisfying about the work that goes beyond the technical challenges. It's about restoration without sentiment, purification through systematic application of proven principles. My colleagues are friendly without being intrusive. We have drinks after work sometimes, attend industry conferences, share stories about difficult clients and impossible deadlines. None of them know about Rachel or Michael or the carefully orchestrated destruction I left behind in Chicago. They know me as Derek Hayes, senior systems engineer, the guy who solved the filtration problem on the Morrison Creek project. That's enough. That's plenty. On Friday evenings, I walk through the city with no particular destination, observing the architecture and infrastructure that keeps 800,000 people fed, housed, and connected. Portland takes its civic systems seriously, bike lanes that actually work, public transportation that runs on time, green spaces integrated into urban planning like vital organs in a healthy body. Good design is invisible until it breaks. Bad design announces itself constantly through small failures and inefficiencies. Marriage, I've learned, is mostly about design. The dog, Murphy, has adapted better to Portland than I expected. He's 12 now, moving slower but still curious about new smells and sounds. The veterinarian here says he's in excellent health for his age, probably has several good years left. We've established routines that work for both of us. Morning walks through the neighborhood, evening sessions in the dog park where he socializes with other animals while I read technical journals on a bench. He doesn't seem to miss the old house or wonder what happened to Rachel. Animals are pragmatists. They adapt to current conditions without sentimentality about past configurations. Sometimes I wonder if Rachel thinks about Murphy, if she regrets leaving him behind in her rush to escape the consequences of her choices. But wondering is different from caring, and I've learned to distinguish between the two. The rain stops as I'm preparing dinner, and evening light breaks through the clouds like stage lighting. The city spreads out below my windows, 800,000 people living their lives according to systems and patterns most of them never think about. Traffic flows through predetermined routes. Electricity powers homes and businesses through carefully maintained grids. Water moves from treatment facilities to kitchen faucets through underground networks designed by people like me. It all works because someone, somewhere, designed it to work. Someone anticipated failure points and built in redundancies. Someone thought through the consequences of each decision and chose reliability over convenience, function over aesthetics. I set my laptop on the kitchen counter and open the folder labeled Project Cascade, a water reclamation system for a growing suburb outside the city. The preliminary designs are elegant but complex, the kind of challenge that will require months of careful planning and precise execution. Murphy settles at my feet as I work, his breathing steady and content. Outside, the city hums with its evening routines, people heading home to families and relationships and futures they're building one decision at a time. I don't think about forgiveness or healing or any of the emotional constructs people insist are necessary for moving forward. I think about clean water flowing through well-designed systems, about infrastructure that works because someone took the time to engineer it properly. The silence around me isn't empty. It's full of potential, like the moment before a perfectly designed system comes online and begins doing exactly what it was built to do. That's enough. That's everything. And that's the end of today's story. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a thumbs up and drop a comment below. Your support helps the algorithm push my content further. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It really helps me keep creating more stories for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.